It's Sunday morning on CBS, and here again is Charles Osgood.
As we saw earlier in our cover story about Attorney General Janet Reno, being accepted as the first woman ever to hold that post was hurdle number one. Surviving the job itself was hurdle number two. Well, being the first woman to hold a seat on the New York Stock Exchange was no less daunting for Muriel Siebert. Surviving and thriving was even more difficult. But as Ray Brady reports, Mickey Siebert has done that and more.
Hi, how are we doing?
Good, and yourself?
Fine. How many apps did you process today?
About 25.
Okay, that's a good start.
So this is the difference between not including his options.
Let's say that we speeded it up and signed it in a couple of days. If we
On Wall Street, her name is legendary.
Finance our approval, what would he charge us on?
Muriel Mickey Siebert.
And we bought that 1,000 Mirage at 16.
And it's not only for her skill in picking stocks that turn into winners.
How's a mobile broker today?
It's been good. Good.
Starting from scratch a generation ago, she built up Muriel Siebert and Company into one of the country's best-known discount stockbrokers.
92 7/8 to 93 right now.
Offering customers lower commission charges than the giant brokerages. And it's rewarded her and her company's stock price handsomely.
You are the first woman to become a billionairess without having inherited money as part of it. How's it feel?
Well, it felt good for 2 days. I mean, for a couple of days, some of the traders made my stock an internet stock, and the stock zoomed up.
In today's rapid-fire, internet-driven Wall Street, where money talks, thousands of customers and Wall Streeters alike listen when this financial veteran talks, especially when she's answering a question like, what keeps the stock market going up and up and up some more?
It keeps going up and up because there's a lot of 401k money that has come in. There's a lot of European money that's come in, and people have made money in the market. They believe in the market, and they're putting in a lot of money into the market. In today's environment, for the first time, the value of stocks that the average household owns has passed the value of the house they live in.
That's an incredible figure.
Yes, it is.
But Mickey Siebert also is known for blunt talking, especially when the talk turns to those financial whirling dervishes, the up and down internet stocks.
Look, I don't like the craziness that anything that has .com before it can just zoom. I want to see some revenues. I want to see a position in an industry.
And I looked up some of the stocks that were the big hot ones back in the 1960s and what happened to them a few years later. King Resources down 99%. Four Seasons Nursing, remember that one?
Yes, I do.
Down 99%. Alphanumeric down at 98%. How do we know that's not going to happen with the internet stocks this time around?
Well, we know the internet is a powerful tool for today and tomorrow and the future. And it's going to be a powerful tool on a global basis. So, you know, there will be room for companies that make it. Is there room for 3 companies that sell books? I don't know.
He grabs his cell phone, he picks it up, he starts calling.
It's a good idea for a commercial.
If you've got the idea that Mickey Siebert's very much her own woman, well, you're right.
And that's what we should be doing, Nick.
She's constantly monitoring every part of her brokerage house.
Don't you think it's time to trade up to Siebert?
Even to appearing in and checking out commercials from Muriel Siebert and Company. Commercials that point out that her company is poised to be a major player in internet trading.
You trade your way through a broker, the internet. 104.
Like most CEOs, she's met with all of America's recent presidents.
Come on.
But what CEO do you know who brings a miniature chihuahua named Monster Girl to the office?
He goes around begging if anybody has food, who's got food?
And that's not all.
Because I came to New York December 1954, a college dropout.
And once in New York, Mickey Siebert headed for that bastion of male pride and macho personality, Wall Street. A woman on Wall Street? In the conservative 1950s, it was unheard of.
I remember years ago, there was a cry that went through Wall Street, she's a woman, she's working here on Wall Street, and it was you.
That was me.
She finally got work as a security analyst, $65 a week, studying companies to find stocks that would rise. But the companies the brokerage house assigned her were Wall Street men's cast-offs.
I can look at a page of numbers and they light up and they tell me a story. So the man that had railroad, shipping, buses, everything that moved, gave me the airlines because he did not think they could pay for the jets.
Is that right?
That is correct. The man who had chemicals and drugs gave me television, motion pictures, and the theaters because he thought they were boring.
From there, Mickey Siebert went on to the front page of the New York Times. She had dared to enter Wall Street's Holy of Holies, the first woman to buy a seat, a license to trade on the New York Stock Exchange.
1,365 men and me. There was not a woman member before because there was no ladies' room on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange.
Did they have to put one in for you?
No, they actually had a room, and nobody bothered to tell me about it for 2 years, though.
Still, 30 years later, it's award time for Mickey Siebert. And the New York Stock Exchange invited her to ring the buzzer, signaling the close of the Wall Street trading day and honoring the 30th anniversary of her debut there.
We are the only woman-owned, minority-owned firm in the entire business.
Today, she spends much of her time working to get more women and minorities on Wall Street, taking that same blunt Mickey Siebert approach.
People don't care if you're a woman, if you're black, if you're brown, if you're Asian, if you can make money for them. That's what counts. It's the bottom line.
For investors, the bottom line now is, how long can this market make the kind of money people have become accustomed to in recent years? Mickey Siebert has an answer to that, too.
You know, we have a two-tiered market. We have a market where you've got some companies that are vastly overpriced by standards that we know, and we have a market where some of them are vastly underpriced. And if the public is smart, they're going to look at the numbers and they're going to buy some of the stocks that have the value and have the cash flow. And in 2 or 3 years, they're going to make a lot of money on them.
You work with a lot of small investors. How informed is the public today on stocks?
I think they're getting more informed. I think what has happened is a lot of the public went into mutual funds starting 10 years ago, 6 years ago. And now that they've followed individual stocks, they've learned more and they feel more confident.
Darling.
Nice to see you.
Though for her, success with stocks has vaulted her into the billion-dollar class.
Say hello to Monster Girl from
She's upstairs in the car.
Even so, after 45 years working on Wall Street, there's no talk of retiring, just talk about the future. Listen to where stocks may be going.
It's quite likely that a portion of our Social Security money is going to be able to be directed into stocks.
Listen as well to where the stock market is going.
And we will have global trading, and you'll be able to trade 24 hours a day.
24 hours a day or not, she'll be there. It would not be the same Wall Street without Mickey Siebert.
Call these customers back for me.
Some thoughts on who we are and why we fight next on Sunday Morning.